Maybe you have decluttered and simplified your life like I have, which would leave us with the question of what now? So today I want to share 10 ways that I've added some simple habits into my life to make myself happier. Here is an extremely typical day in our lives. We got up, we are ready for the morning, I have my walking clothes on, and one thing that I've been doing more lately is walking. Whenever possible, I am trying to walk more places. I walk to drop my boys off at school, and then I walk to pick them up. I could easily drive, and that would save me some time, but I want to get outside more. I want to have more fresh air in my life and just enjoy the beauty of being outside and taking in all of the weather that's going on and a fresh breeze, get Levi outside more. And I find by walking more places, it really boosts my mood and makes me feel so much happier throughout my day. Another thing I changed was waiting to have breakfast till after I dropped off my older boys at school and I could come home and actually relax as I eat my breakfast, take my time, make something healthy. I usually eat oatmeal and have a cup of coffee, and I can just enjoy that breakfast without feeling rushed and like I have to get everyone ready and out the door. Because I work from home, I do have that luxury, but then you can see I also got dressed for the day. Now, this is something that I don't always do, but I always feel so much better when I do get dressed up for the day and make myself look nice. It just makes me feel a lot happier, and I do feel I am more productive. In the last 4 months, I have read 5 books, and I am so happy about that. So instead of having a little bit of downtime and going on social media or thinking I need to get another chore done, I will just take 10 or 20 minutes, sit down, relax, and do some reading. I've always loved reading, and one of the reasons why I wanted to simplify my life and get rid of all the clutter was so I could have moments to enjoy those things that I really like to do. Now I'm heading in to get some work done and do some research. We are currently redoing the little space right in front of our fireplace, and I'm on Facebook Marketplace looking for 2 chairs. And honestly, I am not seeing anything that is our style that looks comfortable and is a good price. So I'm kind of wondering if we're gonna have to go and buy it from Mathis Brothers or a store. I'm gonna have to do some more research, but we also went to a local thrift store quite a few times where they get really good furniture. And that's where I found these 2 chairs for a really good price. So I keep going there, but the problem with that is you have to go so often. It's not really close to us. One of the healthy habits that I've been doing for myself lately is to invest time into the creative things that I like to do. I think being a mom, sometimes I put myself on the back burner, and even though I have a job that is pretty creative, editing videos, writing blog posts, I have put aside all of these things I do like to do, like little sewing projects and fun things that I really enjoy, plus make our home cozy and, you know, save us money, and also make art and make our walls look pretty by adding art to our walls. So I'm just investing more time into that. I made this blanket when my first son was born, or actually before he was born, and there's a few spots I had no idea what I was doing. I like to dive into projects, but there's a few areas that have come apart, so I'm just gonna sew those back together because this is just a blanket that we all really enjoy using, especially for Levi. And I am investing time into myself and making time for myself by doing these creative projects. And that's one thing that this room has really become for me, is an area where I can keep out my sewing machine, and when I'm done sewing, I can put my art out and keep my art out to work on and just spend some time being creative. It really makes life so much more enjoyable. If I ever made a blanket again, I learned so much from jumping into making this blanket. I did not I sewed it pretty much too close to the edge and then it frayed and pulled apart. So you learn as you go when you do projects, but this is one of those ones that I really want to save because I really like this blanket. Another thing I've been trying to do with the sewing machine is fixing things instead of just throwing them away or donating them. I've been fixing Emmett's backpack as it rips apart, and just little things that could be sewn up instead of passing them on to the next person to do that. I just like to get as much use out of the item as possible, and that makes me happy to know that I'm not just wasting my money. And now we're off to go get the boys from school. It is crazy how fast the day goes by when I'm working from home and just doing things around the house with Levi. By the time I'm getting the boys, it feels like I can't get any more work done because they'll be home and we'll be doing schoolwork and all the afternoon activities. As adults, we don't laugh as much as we did when we were children, and I am trying to be extremely intentional about laughing more, trying to see the funny side of things. I tend to laugh more than I think the average person does, as you can see in the videos of my mom and I doing the decluttering at her house, which I can link down below, but I'm trying to be very intentional about seeing the funny side of things. So the other day, Levi grabbed a bag of pretzels from Calvin, and a full bag of pretzels just went flying all over the dining room floor. And it was pretty shocking, and there wasn't really anyone's fault. It was just something a baby does. But I had to laugh instead of getting irritated, and I just laughed and laughed and laughed. I scooped it all up and threw it away and said, oh well, and I just try to see the humor in things whenever I can. Another habit that makes me happy is to romanticize life. This is one of the social media trends that I really like, which is trying to find joy, love, and peace within yourself. It's also trying to structure your days and routines so that you're trying to see the beauty in the world and make everything around you as beautiful as possible. Romanticize the moments of your life as it's happening and really try to enjoy the journey. And that's another thing that I'm trying to do. It is so easy, I think, for all of us to always be looking to the next big thing that's going to be happening, the next big party or the next vacation or the next big thing that we are going to be celebrating in life, getting a new home, whatever it is. For me, that could be a project that we're working on in our house where I am just waiting for that project to be done. But I'm really trying to romanticize life and enjoy the journey. Now it's time to figure dinner out. Another habit that's making me really happy besides being outside is doing yard work. As you just saw, I am trying to work in the yard more because it truly does make me happy to see plants that I planted grow and have some beautiful flowers all of a sudden appear in my backyard out of nowhere, just coming from a seed that I planted in the ground. It adds so much happiness. So if you can find something like that that makes you happy, it just helps so much. And you can see here that I am decorating for Halloween with my boys, just adding some fall elements here. I made this bunting that we just hung up, but that's another thing I'm trying to do is incorporate my boys into the tidying up. We're sweeping here and the decorating, if we do a little decorating here with real pumpkins, but just including them and doing things together as a family really makes me happy, especially when we can all do it together and have a purpose behind what we're doing. Another thing I want to mention about happiness is it is something that we do have to choose to try to see the bright side of things, and we have to be intentional about trying to be happy because honestly, I don't think happiness necessarily just happens naturally. I think we can get caught up in our daily lives, into the grind of things and the drudgery of some tasks, and life is not always easy. Even though I know my videos may look like my life is super easy because I add music and I do a happy voiceover, but we have to choose intentionally to try to make our lives happy. And that's what I'm doing here. Also, I'm intentionally trying to set the mood each evening by putting on low light and trying to kind of mellow our house out at night. And that's just something that I've also been intentional about and has added to the happiness in the evenings here as we turn to fall and winter. And I'm just trying to make it really cozy in our home and be super intentional about that. Another thing I've been doing that's been adding to my personal happiness is realizing when I need help and when I need to take things off of my to-do list. So in the evenings, we have dinner and then I do the dishes. And recently I have been asking my son and my husband if they can help with putting the dishes away or helping do the dishes. And now we are taking turns. We have help now that they're old enough to help. My boys are at the age where they can be involved as well. Tonight, my husband's helping me, but honestly, just asking for help. And if you don't have help, then figuring out maybe the things that you could take off your list so you have more time to enjoy the small things in life and have more enjoyable experiences. But I've found just saying I need a little bit of help, then that has made me so much happier. And now I'm finishing out my evening with my favorite thing to do, which is read right before bed. I just want to say thank you so much for being here. Subscribe if you're new, and I hope you have a wonderful day.